heart restless. Every turn felt like it was wrong, but I kept going to show I was strong. Pushing to my own song, but you came, you made me see.
Welcome to the Mindful DJ, and I was thinking of maybe having sort of short 5-minute videos that we call something like mindful musings, because sometimes I read stuff and it prompts some reflection and contemplation, and in the context of my understanding, my experience, and the evolution of that, really. And so yeah, sometimes there's just something that I muse over, I ponder over, and I don't know if, you know, it's something that will be of value to other people, and who might disagree. So yeah, I've been thinking of about this term called that people refer to as living your best life, or being your best self. Living your best life, being your best self. I guess they're similar, really, and I hear it quite a lot. And if I'm honest, something about it kind of irritates me, and I think it's because when something becomes popularised, it seems to come from somewhere, and then it just gets used and overused, and I like to really have a little think about, well, what is it? Number one, what is it that irritates me? And usually it's superficiality, something that is inauthentic, and I can understand. I don't wish to offend anyone. Some people may just use it as a way of expressing something, like, being the best that one can be, and being your best self. Like, I know being your best self is a call to a better attitude, being more optimistic and more motivated, and just seeking for something, to be at your best, basically. And that can be helpful, psychologically speaking, in some respect, but there are also some harms to that. We all have days that we're not feeling at our best, and that's the whole point, is that, being your best self, it's a bit of a nonsense, really. It's a bit of a nonsense, because you are your only self. It's not like lots of selves. Like, on Monday, I was my playful self. On Tuesday, I was my moody self. Thursday, I mean, it starts to sound a bit like a Craig David song. Monday. So yeah, being your best self, living your best life. It doesn't seem to make sense, because in the context of the path that I'm on, Advaita non-duality, it's about coming into the true nature of yourself, which isn't many things, it's one thing. And I think this is the core teaching of that path of non-duality, or Advaita as it's called in the East, and Buddhism is that actually, you know, it's this, the problem starts when we're not whole, when we're not congruent with the one self that there is. And so splitting ourselves off into many selves is bound to create suffering, because then there's the measurement, the measuring against, oh, that day I was rubbish, this day I was really brilliant, and then you get puffed up with pride. And just checking that I'm recording here. That would be funny, wouldn't it? Mindful musings, talking to myself, not even recording. There's a sense here that being your best self as a phrase really kind of feeds into this delusion about what you are, and can be responsible for creating suffering and competitiveness, and just feeds this delusion about the truth of who you are, and making one feel that actually the essential self is nothing but personality that we can augment and change. But your best self is just what you are here now. It's the only self there is. All the other stuff about how I was on Monday, how I was on Tuesday, they're ideas, thoughts that we then project onto something that isn't here and now. So almost like really a little lie. How you think you are on Monday isn't necessarily, and it's a partial reflection, that thought or assessment, evaluation of how you were on Monday. It's just, how can you reduce that to a thought? Something as tiny and partial as a thought, tiny fragment. So your best self is the wholeness of yourself, your consciousness, your being. Just tune into that now. You don't find a self. I mean, even if you were to try looking for yourself now, other than thought, what do you find? What are you now? In experience, not with a label. Not by thinking about what I am. That's just a thought, just thinking, just a label. The reality of the meal is not the menu, it's not the words. You ain't going to get satisfied by eating the menu. You might choke. So being your best self is being what you are in the here and now, allowing yourself to be as you are, not trying to measure up to best self as opposed to worst self, how I was on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because then you split yourself off, different personalities. Are we then not feeding mental illness? And this is the truth of it. When I was, you know, purely experiencing myself in terms of a thought-based reality, and that I was good on this day, bad on that day, I was full of suffering, full of suffering. And I'm not saying I don't have bad days. Everyone has bad days, tough days, not feeling so good days. But I don't create an identity out of them and say, oh, this was my worst self today. I'm my best self today. Hey, I'm just sitting on this rock, living my best life. And then believing in that. And actually in Advaita, non-duality, which is all about self-understanding, self-realization, you realise that the self is immaculate, empty, spacious, and available to all different kinds of expressions and feelings and that move within it. But yet itself is unmoving, unchangeable. And so the guidance for being your best self, to coin the phrase, don't like using it, but is to just simply be aware of being aware. Be aware of awareness itself, which is the same as being present. When you're aware, just look now, just be aware that you're aware. Nothing else. Don't think about it. Tell a story about it. Just be aware of being aware. And then there's just no preoccupation with mind or thoughts or what I am or what I was. There's just spaciousness, presence. You don't have to complicate it with being your best self and feel bad about being your worst self. So that's my musing for the day. Who knows, tomorrow might be something completely different.